So you're probably wondering, what's the difference between the Plus and the 0.1 of the brand new X Speedflow? I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Let's go. What's going on, guys? Mike McIntyre here, back from All Things Sports, bringing you a brand new video. And today I want to talk about the differences between the brand new X Speedflows. We have two models. We have the Plus and we have the 0.1. There are a few subtle changes to the two uppers that I think you should be aware about in order to make your decision. Obviously, the biggest thing that's going to affect it is if you really want a laceless design, you're going to go for the Plus. If you want laces and just want that extra little bit of lockdown, you'll probably go for the 0.1. There are a few subtle changes in terms of how the uppers feel to the touch that I just want you to be aware of, so that's what we're going to go over in this video right here. Obviously, there's a couple of aesthetic differences, but that really isn't a big deal. The heels are basically exactly the same. The outsides of the boot are pretty much the same. The insides are very similar as well. This one just has a little bit more of a Velcro-like feel in the heel, whereas this one is just a nice soft suede material. So you just get a little bit of that kind of Velcro texture in the Plus. The inside of the boot is where you'll see a visual change, obviously, this one being all red, and this one just having a little white and kind of red graphic there. But the biggest difference in terms of aesthetics is definitely going to be the sole plate. Obviously on the 0.1, it's just a white sole plate and you can kind of see the carbon fiber insert. This one, they've done a fancy sole plate with this chrome finish on it, and that's not uncommon. That's very typical of the Plus model, where they'll do a very fancy kind of chrome finish on the sole plate, and on the 0.1, they'll just keep it very simple and leave it as is, if you will. Other than those aesthetic differences, there's just a couple little things you should be aware about with the upper. So the biggest difference is in the forefoot area. I would say in this area right here, let me show you, right where my fingers are, okay? Those areas are a little bit different. This one just feels a little softer, and it's a little bit more like the X Ghosted material that we had last year. On the Plus model, it has a little bit more of a rough kind of textile feel to it. So I would almost argue that it has a little bit more of a natural grabbiness to the ball. I would not call it grip, because it's not sticky, if you will, but it just has this natural kind of characteristic where it wants to grab a little bit more, whereas the upper on this one is very slick to the touch. I can run my finger across it and it's very slick, very seamless, and very smooth. This one just has those kind of little dimples from that textile material that just add a little bit of texture to it. So that's something to be aware of, and that kind of feeling carries all throughout the forefoot area and up towards the three stripes. Once you get to the three stripes, it does feel very similar. It's almost the exact same thing. It's just this forefoot area where there is a slight difference in terms of the upper. Adidas basically calls it the same thing. I haven't seen too much information in their press release to say that this is a different upper than this one. They're kind of describing it the same way, but this one obviously needs to be reinforced in such a way to accommodate for the laceless design to keep your foot locked in place. You'll still get a little bit better lockdown in this one, but this one is very good. And in terms of a laceless boot, this is definitely the sleekest boot I've ever put on feet that has no laces. Once you slip this thing on, it's very seamless, very thin. There's no dead space. There's no awkward creases anywhere. For a laceless design, this is a real winner. It fits really, really well, and it fits a variety of different foot types, which is a really good thing. I'm a huge fan of how the boot kind of just seamlessly transitions from boot to foot and all of that stuff. It's really, really impressive from a laceless boot. This one will just give you a touch more lockdown because of the laces, obviously, and you just get a slightly different feel in the forefoot where it does feel a little bit more slick to the touch, like I said before, and the Plus just has that little bit of grabbiness to it because of those kind of dimples in the upper material. That's pretty much it. That's what you need to be aware of. Hopefully you can see it in some of the close-up shots from the upper, and then obviously there's just the visual aesthetic differences, but that's pretty much it. Your biggest decision should be whether you want laces or not. If you're a huge fan of a laceless design, you're going to go for this one, and I think you're going to be really, really happy with it. From a laceless boot design, this is definitely one of the best ones I've ever seen. If you're chasing that little bit more of lockdown, go for the laces. If you have wider feet, you might be a little bit more inclined to go for these ones as well, just because you can stretch the boot out. But I mean, I have wide feet and I got into these really, really well. So take from that what you will. Make the decision for yourself. Again, a touch more lockdown with laces compared to this one, but a really nice striking surface, a really clean surface, and a really good fitting boot from a laceless design. So that's pretty much it. I think that's what you need to be aware of. Just know those little bit of differences in the upper material and just make that decision if you want laces or not. And that is pretty much the only differences between the new X Speedflow. I'm a huge fan of it. I think Adidas has nailed it. They fit better than the X Ghosted, and they're just as impressive from an upper perspective. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please smash it with a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. You know the drill, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Mike McIntyre, All Things Sports. I'm signing off for now. Catch you guys soon. Take care. Peace.